Have you ever wanted your own podcast? Well, now you can. With Anchor, you can make your podcast dreams come true. It's free and easy to use. Anchor will allow you to edit your podcast however you like. It will also distribute your podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money with no minimum listenership. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm to get started. Or download the free Anchor app. Good afternoon, Hatters, and we are back with Season 3 of The Root of All Disney. And today, my co-host, Autumn, is joining us. So, into this. So we haven't spoken to each other since September, I think, 16th.
Oh, wow, it's been that long.
Yeah. So that was the last time we all spoke to each other. So how was your Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Pretty good, uneventful. Had my husband's parents over, spent time with the kids. Went to the trampoline park over Christmas break. That was interesting.
Speaking of trampoline park, obviously you've heard that I got a new position over at a new indoor theme park here in Orlando.
I did. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm just waiting for the marketing position to opening up because that's where I'm actually going to be moving to. I'll be moving to the marketing position so I could get some experience in that. And then when Disney gives me the call back and says, oh, would you like to go into your new, your old position? I could say, well, I technically got marketing position now under my belt for like 6 months or however long it is. I could ask, hey, do you have a marketing position? So see if Disney can put me in that.
Yeah.
So that's my plan, is to try to see if I can get a better position when I return to Disney, because I already told everyone that, yes, when Disney calls, I'm going back. Only because I get it. Marketing is great, but you can never tell how a job is going to last, especially, the job is basically an indoor theme park with just go-karting, an arcade, and an auto museum, bowling, and trampoline. But who knows how long that can last, especially after this same building has lost 3 malls in the past 20 years. So,
oh, goodness.
So that to me says, look, just get your foot in, see what happens. And if Disney calls back, hey, I'm going to go back anyway. So, but I'm glad you guys had a great Christmas. My wife and I, we were supposed to go to New York, but obviously with COVID, that did not happen. And we're trying to shoot for Easter. We're supposed to go up for a wedding. If that doesn't happen because of COVID again, we will probably still try to go up for Easter if that whole 2-week quarantine is officially gone in New York. That would actually be helpful. If not, we'll wait until the end of the year and we'll go back up at Christmas time, try that again. But did you hear about, you are just up to date as basically as much as I am. So you probably have heard about the Magical Express is officially gone as of 2020, along with early park hours, like magic hours, that they're getting rid of. Am I right?
Yeah, I am devastated about the extra magic hours. I really liked the extra hours, especially at night. Whenever we get, just that extra hour to ride rides and just do things in the dark.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, because Disney has now, during the holidays, Disney was open till like 10, the latest 11 o'clock at night for both Magic Kingdom and Epcot mostly. And now they're back to closing at 7.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand that, but now they're switching it to early morning hours. So I didn't really, because they were really talking about the train more replacing the Magical Express, but they didn't go into detail about what is this early morning hours.
Well,
Does
it's a half an hour before the park opens. They're going to start letting resort guests enter the park.
okay, because a lot of people are saying that they're also going to let regular guests as well.
I haven't seen that. On the Disney travel agent site, I have seen where it said that park guest or resort guest will be allowed access 30 minutes prior to opening. So they'll get basically like a miniature version of the extra magic hours in the mornings. Instead of the hour, they get 30 minutes now.
Okay, because from what I heard from one of the cast members that I spoke to,
Mhm.
they were talking about, for right now, yes, that is exactly what it is. But they're talking about because a lot of guests were a little upset that they were bringing that back for people who are coming. They were talking about moving it to an hour again for the guests, and then half hour before the park. They're going to let like annual pass holders and regular ticket people come in a half hour early.
Well, honestly, my opinion of that is then they should have stayed on the resort if they want that extra time. I
Right.
understand money and this and that, but that's one of the things that, you have to give up whenever you don't stay on the resort.
No, I agree 100%. The one thing it's funny was even when they had the early magic hours for the guests going in 30 to an hour before the last time,
Uh-huh.
when I would go, I would never, the line, people are worried that the lines are going to be long, but the thing is, I never ever noticed it.
No.
So that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like, look, nothing's going to change. It's exactly the same.
Mhm.
The lines are not going to be longer. To be honest with you, it could be shorter because with them getting a half hour to that hour earlier, they'll be done quicker than most of the people who are coming in who are annual pass holders or just regular ticket people.
Yeah, I do know that sometimes with the early magic hours, whenever we would travel, we would go to a resort that wasn't, um, or we would not a resort, a park that wasn't eligible for extra magic hours in the morning to avoid the lower crowd or to have lower crowds in the morning since you already have all the extra resort guests there, go opposite.
Yeah.
And so that was
So
the way we
so
used to beat the crowds, but
so that sounds like it was Animal Kingdom mostly.
sometimes.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom still has low capacity. Even though they close at 5, they still really don't get that many people. Like I really don't go to Animal Kingdom as much, and it
The same.
shows
It's one of my
on.
favorite parks.
And you know, what's funny is it shows on my show for the YouTube show, and
Uh-huh.
Megan, my wife, comes up to me and says, "Why are you not recording?" I said, "Look, honestly, I would rather record when we have our Animal Kingdom shirts. Like she has an up shirt, and I'm making more shirts that will based of characters that are in Animal Kingdom."
Yeah.
I said I would like to promote the shirts, but also I want to be able to have more time than just the 2 hours that we're spending here. Um, and I would like to, because right now Animal Kingdom is probably the only park that has not all the stuff back.
Hmm.
Um, they do have the cavalcade, little boat floats, but none of the shows are open.
Yeah.
Uh, the only rides that are truly open are Kilimanjaro, the dinosaur, and Everest.
Well, speaking of
Um,
rides being open, they've completely gotten rid of the Primeval Whirl.
yes, I went there. They have. I'm waiting for them to take it down completely,
Uh-huh.
but the carts are officially gone out of there.
Yeah. Flight of Passage is open. I had a friend go recently, and they were able to ride Flight of Passage. She said that
Yes,
it's
I
not the
did
same
forget about.
experience, though.
I did forget the flight of passage. Yeah, I. I mean, when did they go?
Uh, End of September, beginning of October.
Okay, so I went around that time, and yeah, they just put you right through without none of the intro and all that.
Okay.
Okay, so for what I was saying was, they just threw you in with no intro, but now they actually have been working on getting. I think they're doing all the seating now.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they're socially distancing anymore. But you are still doing the intro, so they do. It's still a bad experience for the intro, but once you get on the ride, it's still great. So,
Yeah.
so yes, that is still there as well. But like I said, there's so much more they could do with Animal Kingdom, and I'm hoping they decide to think of something quick because honestly, Animal Kingdom is truly a half a day. Um, I can
I
get
had
through Animal.
heard some speculation about bringing in new things into the animal kingdom. I don't want to say what I've heard yet because it's nothing concrete, but I have seen some things about permits being pulled for potential ideas.
Probably the same ideas that I know about, but like I said, we won't put that on air because
Not until you have anything concrete. Concrete
yes, it is. It's not concrete, and we're not about rumors.
for
So,
real. Yeah, for sure.
but back to the because we did get off topic, but going back to the Magical Express being taken away and being replaced by a bullet train.
Yeah,
Um, honestly, because now that I know how it's going to work, it's kind of more of a hassle.
that's
So
what I was wondering as well. What do you know about it to see if it goes along with what I know?
So this is what it's supposed to do. You're supposed to, once you get off your plane, you go and get your bags.
Uh-huh.
There will be another. They're supposedly building one of those like little air trains to get you to the train station where they're going to build it because
Yeah.
it's not going to be on the airport property.
Yeah, so like another one of those little shuttles like you take from the Southwest terminal into the airport.
Correct. So
Yeah.
you'll take that, and then you'll get on the train. You'll have
Uh-huh.
to just show tickets that you're going to Disney, so that way I believe they don't charge you. They only will charge you because it will be going through the airport all the way to Miami as well. So that would be
Uh-huh.
why they'll charge you. But I think if you have your Disney passes and show proof, I believe that would still be considered free or with a little bit of a fee.
Like a little transfer fee.
Yeah, it would take you to Disney Springs, and I think I know where they're going to put it.
Yeah, I've seen that they're building the terminal for that.
Yeah, I think I know exactly where they're building it because I saw this giant like field that's already been ripped apart.
hmm
So I'm thinking that's where it's going to be, and it's still a little bit away from the actual Disney Springs, but it's not as far. I mean, you can't walk to Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Um, so my feeling is they're going to put also a bus station there because you're going to have to grab a bus as soon as you get off.
I was
Grab,
wondering if they would be putting like a Disney bus station there because it just seems like a lot of hassle to drag your luggage here, there, and everywhere. The only way I could see that working is bringing back the complimentary luggage transfers.
right. Um, Now I don't know if they're going to do that with the train. I don't know. We really don't have any true information on that yet.
hmm
The only information I have is that it will take you to Disney Springs, but then you have to transfer over to a bus of the resort that you're going to,
Yeah.
and then that will take you to your resort. Um,
But could you imagine
and
trying to get on a park bus to go to your resort and trying to bring luggage for however many people are in your party?
well, that's what I'm saying. They have to have. They're probably going to have to add more buses that are going to be strictly just to pick you up and take you to the resort, and
Yeah.
no guests at all. Um,
Repurpose the
and
Magical Expresses.
and that would be yes, refurbishing for them, and that would bring in more jobs. And I think that's where they were going with that was to bring in more jobs, but
hmm
they're going at it the wrong way because it's just more of a hassle for the guest.
It really is. But something that we haven't mentioned yet, mirrors. They have some pretty good, re- decently priced options for after the Magical Express is gone. You know, limos, ride share, not ride share, but like the bigger buses like the Magical Express, but where you pay a smaller fee for it.
Yes, I did hear Mears was going to take over when 2022 comes around. I don't know how much people are going to try to do that. I think at first they might try the train, and if they don't like their experience, they'll definitely take mirrors the next time.
Yeah.
But you also got Uber, but that's more expensive as well.
Yeah, Uber's about 100 and like a family of my size, since we have 6 people, you're looking at almost $200 each way to do an Uber Black so that we could have enough space.
Yeah, and on a typical Uber for, say, when my wife goes to work,
Hmm.
we're over by, like I said, we're over by Universal, and she's got to go all the way back to the Disney area.
Hmm.
It's about $28
Oh
for
wow.
her just to get there. So it's 28 there and 28 back. So we're losing more money through Uber. So I try to let people know, if you want to do Uber, go be my guest. That's your choice. But if there's other cheaper options like the train or Mears, I would take that, even if it is a little bit more in a fee wise, but that would be round trip wise. It wouldn't be just one way. It would be
It'd
a round
almost
trip.
be worth it to look into like the rental cars, like Alamo or I don't know, Hertz or any of the other ones that they have there, and renting a car of your whatever size you need or a van, whatever, and driving it to your resort, unloading, and immediately turning around and taking it back because they have complimentary transportation from the car rental place on Disney's property to get back to your
Right,
resort. So drop everybody off and one person go return your car.
right, and the reason why I say that, and that's another thing I tell people,
Hmm.
um, Disney is losing money because they're charging people to stay on resort with their car,
Yeah.
and that's one of the reasons why they're getting rid of the Magical Express, because so many people said, okay, well then I'm just going to take Magical Express and not get charged for how long I'm being there. Well, now Disney said, well, and I think that's why they're getting rid of it, is they're saying, hey, let's just get rid of it completely. Now they have to either decide to take the train, more hassle, or they're going to have to pay for the Mears bus, or they're going to have to take a car, and then we can charge them even more.
Yeah.
It's all about the money with them lately. I'm sad to say it as a huge Disney supporter and everything, and I'm sad that Disney has gone from being a happy place where they want to make the guests happy to a corporation where it's all about money and greed.
Notice they do have a new president.
Yeah, I'm not talking about.
That's why I didn't mention his
Um,
name.
are we talking about the new CEO of Disney?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we're not gonna go into that.
No.
I still think Mr. Josh Tomorrow deserves the position more, but that's nor here nor there. And I believe if every cast member, past and present, was to make a petition, I believe that Josh would have the most out of anybody in the executive positions
Hmm.
for that to take that CEO job. And I know he's being groomed now because of where he is in Disney now. And he's always at the park. He was just there yesterday at Epcot,
Yeah.
and I love him because you're supposed to be 6 feet apart, but this guy went maybe about 3 feet away from this woman on a scooter and just was having a conversation with her.
Hmm.
And he was there talking to people. I'm like, this is a CEO that you want. This is somebody you want working for Disney because he's talking to the people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whereas Bob, is not doing nothing. He just wants the money
Making.
and get involved in politics, which Mr. Walt Disney didn't want.
Yeah.
So it's sad that, at first I thought maybe it was a good hire, but now seeing after about almost a year, I'm just noticing that, Bob is not the best option for Disney. And he's not even the best option for the stockholders like myself.
Yeah.
So I've had to dip into my money a little bit. I had to sell 2 of my shares just to get some money back because everything was going down, and now it's at the highest point. But that's because, like I said, Disney's all about greed and taking away the magic.
Hmm. Speaking
But
of
I,
changes in the parks, what do you think of Joe Rohde's retirement?
that was the saddest thing I heard
I know.
because he was supposed to, and I think he still is. I think he is still going to. I mean, he's retiring, but I think he's retiring after he's officially done helping the Imagineers reimagine Splash Mountain
Okay.
because that was his baby, that's his child, that's he built that.
Or, we could just leave
Um,
Splash Mountain as is. But um, yeah, I'm just pretty
I
sad.
agree.
He's got like, oh, what is it, Star Wars? Galaxy's Edge. He had a major hand in building that. The Animal
Yes, he
Kingdom,
did.
he is basically like, Joe Rohde through and through.
Right, and I think the only reason why he's retiring, and this is my opinion, I don't think he wants to retire.
I think.
I think he's being
Okay.
I think he's being forced to retire by Bob.
Oh.
I think he is because from what I heard was Bob is trying to make it to the point where he could save a buck, and he's trying to get as many executives to take a pay cut and let him keep his pay, but everyone else has to take a pay cut, or he wants them to resign and then bring somebody else in that will take the smaller pay.
Okay. Now, see, I had seen where
That's
it
what.
was a natural lull right now, and it would be the best time to step away and be able to pursue other interests at the moment, live life, you know.
But the thing is, I think he had more projects that he wanted to get done that are being, and that could be another reason he might retire because he's just getting rejected for all his projects because, as we know, Disney is going broke. That is why, when we get to it, because that'll be a really quick
Yeah.
topic, Tron and Going to the Galaxy has been pushed out of
I
2021.
saw that. But, with Joe Rohde retiring, my question is, will Disco Yeti ever get fixed?
No, Disney actually, unfortunately, Disney, there is a permit actually. There was a
Oh, I know.
permit for that ride. I don't know if that's a permit to fix him. Um, Megan calls him Danny the Yeti. She's a Friends fan, so that's where she got
Okay.
that from. So, but there was a permit filed for Everest, and I don't know if it's to refurbish the track or to fix the
Yeah.
Yeti, but we won't know because they're going to keep that hush hush until eventually Disney makes money,
Yeah.
and that's the sad part about everything is Disney, even though they're open, they're still losing money, and I don't know if it's because of people are just not showing up because people are showing. I go there and it's ridiculously packed. I mean, that's why that day I park
Uh-huh.
hop to Epcot was because Magic Kingdom was unbearable. We got on maybe one ride and then we're like, okay, everything else is 60
Hmm.
minutes now. So it's not even worth it. We went to Epcot, we got on everything within 2
Yeah.
hours. Yeah. So it depends upon where is this money that they're losing going to? Because now we'll get on the subject of Tron and
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. So the 50th is coming up in a couple of months. The 50th is sold
I
out.
know. What is that?
No one can get a pass.
That's what, November, October.
October.
Okay. I thought they had an
October
actual like
1st.
celebration for a certain day that was like a dedication type thing in November for some reason.
Honestly, they haven't really been talking about the 50th. They still have their Christmas stuff up.
Really?
My friend just went the other day. What was it?
Hmm.
2 days ago. So what's today? Today's Thursday? No, today's Wednesday.
Sorry.
So he went Monday, and the Christmas tree was still up, and all the Christmas decorations are still up.
Interesting.
I just went to Animal Kingdom,
Uh-huh.
and their Christmas stuff is still up. So I don't know what's going on because Disney was supposed to cancel that stuff after the 30th. And something, I don't know if there's no workers or something, but the Christmas stuff is still up. So people can get those Christmas pictures that they didn't get because they couldn't make it. So that's fun for them. But it's now mid-January and it's becoming an eyesore.
Yeah, my stuff is still up at my house too. I just haven't had time to get it down.
I finally took it down because we were hosting a mini party, so I had to take down my tree and everything. I didn't want to, but I had to.
So
I was gonna do like
Guardians of the Galaxy officially been shelved for 2021, or are they still tentatively opening it in fall of 21?
Nope, it's both of them have been shoved off to 2022.
I saw that they had started transporting the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster cars into Epcot. Yeah.
Right, they did that, but the only problem that's still the track and the ride itself is done. The problem is the queue line, the everything. That just the front of the building is still being built. So that's the only problem. And unfortunately, these workers are not returning to the Tron project, and they're not returning to the Guardians of the Galaxy project until late 2021. So they might not get back to work until November. So you might not see these rides opening until at least summer or fall of next year.
Yeah, I know during the D23 conference recently, they did not have them on the schedule for this year anymore. But
no. So
for years to
the gift. Yes, I did too, and it looks like they got the outside barge encasing on, but they didn't fill it up. Like the outside with the panels and stuff, because the workers are gone. So they're going to have to fix that as soon as it comes back. That's another reason why it's going to take longer for it to open up and be 2022. So the new gift, basically, which it shouldn't be because it was supposed to open up last year, the gift for the 50th now is Ratatouille.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, but I'm also kind of bummed that they've also pushed off the Moana the Moana water walkthrough.
They're still saying it's going to open up this year.
I thought that I don't know that it was Journey of Water. I couldn't think of the words.
It's going to be late this year, so probably Christmas time. So it's still going to open up this year. So everything at Epcot, besides Guardians, and probably the the statue of Walt and everything, that's all going to be here because that was smaller projects.
Well, see, I was just reading that Project Gamma, the whole entrance redesign and gutting of the Central Future World and everything, is now going to be pushed back to 2022. Okay.
Those are, but the side stuff like the Moana,
Journey of Water,
the Journey of Water, the fountain already opened up.
The new one
is. It is beautiful. You got to see it in person. You're gonna love it. Especially the pictures, the magic shot for it. So it's really beautiful. We're just waiting on the Walt statue. I don't know if that's where it's going or they're putting Walt in the middle of the park.
I haven't
Makes
heard.
sense. Makes sense to put him in the middle. So, but the permit for Spaceship Earth,
that was my next question,
is back again. Which that probably is not going to start until next year as well.
And then also the Carousel Progress is getting a little bit of an update.
Yes, I did hear that. The rumor is
Yes,
Tom Hanks is going to be
I had seen
doing the
that, and
voice
I actually
now.
watched a thing where Tom Hanks sang uh, "There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow" on Jimmy Kimmel Show, and he sang it wrong.
Yes, it's going to be interesting
He would say
because
instead of
I
"shining" at
don't.
the end of every day, he would say "starting" at the end of every day.
Oh, see that he probably doesn't he doesn't have the
Yeah,
script in front of him, so he loves Disney, but he probably doesn't know the whole lines of that song like many of us
my
obsessed with
5-year-old even
Disney
does.
do. So I I know that they're going to be
Hmm.
refurbishing the last scene,
They
uh,
didn't predict the '90s well enough.
but now hearing John's voice going to be Tom Hanks, it's going to be
Yes.
kind of weird. So it's gonna the first time it's gonna be weird, but eventually um, kind of it will become second
Yeah.
nature eventually. But at first, for many of our
For the
listeners,
Disney purists.
it's going to get weird because you're going to sit there. For many of you who are going to go and they're not going to hear us talk about it, or they don't even follow Disney news, they're going to be like, "Wait a minute, what happened?
Hmm.
Who's this?" They're going to be like, "Is that Tom Hanks?" Yeah, that's Tom
But
Hanks.
it's pretty cool to have a name that big attached
And
to it now.
yes, I just hope they don't tweak the intro video because that is perfect as
Yes.
itself.
Can you imagine, 20, 30 years from now, whenever they redo the ride again and include 2020, what they'll have to say about that?
Oh yes, that's going to be
Hottest
interesting.
accessory for the year
I,
was face masks, where you match it to your scrunchie, and
they probably won't put that in there unless they
oh, that
refurbish
I'm
the
saying like 30
entire
years from now.
series. Well, that's what I'm saying. In 30 years, are they going to refurbish the entire thing and get rid of the 20s and then start from like
Good
the
point. Just have
2000s?
to, make it bigger.
So it depends how they do it. And I'm actually happy that they're not going to be um, canceling it because people were worried that they were going to go the route of Disneyland and
Mhm.
just get rid of it completely. And I'm very happy that they decided
Okay.
not to. So, because and I think a lot of Disney fans would have a huge uproar if Disney were to ever say, you know what, we're getting rid of the Carousel of
That
Progress
would be sacrilegious for the
because
Disney fans.
well, look what happened over at Disneyland. People were flipping out. I mean, they didn't go to it, but people were flipping out, and now they have to watch it here at Disney World, which makes it a more
Yes.
special experience. So, like when I go to Disneyland and I go to that section, I'll be like, "Oh, there's the old
Yeah.
Carousel of Progress." But now it's was it Star Wars Launch Bay? It's their launch bay, but I
Hmm.
think they got rid of that too. So now it's just an empty building.
Yeah. I have actually never been to Disneyland, so I'm not too up on that right now.
Tomorrowland needs definitely an uplift over there before I believe Disney World does. Honestly, they need the
Yeah.
uplift more. So, um, what? Oh yes, cavalcades. So a lot of people were upset when I put that rumor out, which is not a rumor because Disney hasn't come out and announced it yet, but they've told their
Yes.
cast members because just in case if anybody does ask about it, the cavalcades are officially here to stay. Disney probably will make that announcement when the 50th
Honestly,
anniversary,
I think it's a pretty
celebration
good
comes.
idea. I can count the number of times I have actually sat and watched an entire parade on one hand. I mean, like one of the parades, I was in the parade, so I had to be there, but the rest, have never actually watched an entire parade.
Right. And what I try to tell people, because I know that some people were upset when
Hmm.
on our Facebook page that they were a little upset that why would Disney do this? And I said, well, this is why they're doing it. At 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock, depending upon what time of the year it was, there
Yes.
would be one parade, and it would be one giant parade. And if people were just coming in, they would either catch it before it started, or they would catch it right when it was ending. They would never see the full amount, and guests would complain like,
Hmm.
"Hey, is there another one coming?" And no, it was just one parade every day. Now, people are loving that the cavalcades come like every hour. They come maybe about four
Yes.
times an hour, so you never miss anything. And the guests who are coming in say around, because they end around 7 o'clock, depending upon the sun. And at the holiday times, they were actually doing it at 8 o'clock, which was nice because that was interesting to see how they were doing
Yeah.
it at night again. So that was nice to see a night
I
parade at
still say
least.
bring back the Main Street Electrical
Um,
Parade.
yes, um, there is a rumor that it could be making its way back for the 50th, only because they don't have any plans because of COVID ruined them to get a new parade in. So they might refurbish and bring the electrical parade
Yeah.
back as here's your 50th parade. But everyone is happy about these cavalcades, that they're going to be around all day round, and you'll never miss them. Yes, they'll get annoying, but at least everyone gets a chance to see them.
Yes. Oh, goodness. I was actually there right before they got rid of the electrical parade. And my daughter, who will be 8 this year, actually lost her sandal there. It's been that long. She was asleep in the stroller and accidentally kicked
Wow.
her sandal off.
Oh, jeez. Wow. I think, what was it? No. Um, so let's just finish up and say that we are going to be on. Not everyone's going to be on at the same time. I'm glad that you
Yeah.
joined me today.
It's good to be
Um,
back.
so, it's going to be fun because, like I said, we were trying some new things. Like you said,
Mhm.
you mentioned the Skype. Um, so we're going to have some new things for our listeners, and I'm very excited because the success for season 2 when I brought you guys on was a major jump. So you guys helped out a lot, and I could not thank
Well,
you guys
thank you
enough.
for having us. I'm speaking for everybody right now.
And yeah, uh, and I hope you have a wonderful
It's time to
day.
go pick up the tiny
And
humans.
I will, yes, and I hope to see you, and hopefully we get more
Alrighty.
people next week. All right,
Yep, you
have
too.
a magical day. I'd like to thank Autumn for coming on today's show. You'll be hearing more from Autumn in the later episodes coming out. We're hoping to get Rebecca and Brad back. We're just working at schedules. Also, for many of you who are Disney shirt fans, I do have a shirt shop. You can go to, and I'll say it slowly, shop.spreadshirt.com/TROAD. If you go there, you will be able to get my entire merchandise that I am selling, and most of the shirts and products go to charity. The ones that say donation for right now are the ones that are going to charity. It is for a good cause. It is for St. Jude's. I got 3 charities I give it to. So St. Jude's, I'm giving it to Give Kids the World,
And I am looking into a new autism um, charity because there's a lot of things going on with Autism Speaks that I'm not a fan of, and I don't want to give them my money if the rumors that I'm hearing are 100% true up in their executive office. So that is something I don't want to give money to. That's why I'm looking for a new autism charity. So if anybody has any suggestions, you can also visit me on Facebook, which is the Root of All Disney Facebook. You can also find my YouTube show in the search bar. Just type in The Root of All Disney, and you'll get every episode that I have ever created. And we are 6 days away from my 1 year of starting The Root of All Disney. 1 year. I know we got through 3 seasons in a year, but that's because the first season really was a test drive, and I'm very happy that you all came and listened, and I'm very grateful for season 2, mostly because, yes, I did get a big boost in viewership with the help of Autumn. I don't know why I keep on saying it like that. I'm sorry, Autumn, and Rebecca and Brad. So I like to thank them again for their help. So I will all see you next week for episode 2, and it could be my 1 year episode if I get it at that time, if we all can get on at the time. So have a wonderful day. Love your family members. Say you love them because they're not here for much long. You never know. And just be kind. Have a wonderful day.